just so small.
Where it just jettisoned.
Hey there, this is the Small Stuff Podcast. My name is Kyle Roebuck. This is the intro. Let's start the show. Hello, everybody. Kyle Roebuck here with Small Stuff Podcast. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm trying to be hyper today. Yeah. Real quick, make sure you're following Small Stuff Podcast on Instagram. Make sure you're following Small Stuff Media on Instagram. Make sure you're also following About That with O.B. Smith on Instagram. I'm just going to plug all this stuff. And while I'm plugging stuff, follow FanaticNOW on Instagram.
Whoop, whoop.
I think we already announced FanaticNOW with you guys, like on a previous one.
No.
Did we say something about it?
If you listen to the first episode of Tales from the Shadows, you'll hear me announce FanaticNOW.
Oh, right.
Like 3 weeks before it ever actually aired.
Right. So,
And you had said something about when last time I was on, like we had something going on.
Yeah.
But we didn't reveal anything.
I don't remember details and shit. I'm just, I'm here. Josh and Bryton are here. You guys know of Josh and Bryton. You damn sure should at this point. They've been on like 15 episodes. But they started a YouTube channel called FanaticNOW, and they've got a few videos up and stuff. And they are here to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
That is coming out Thursday. It's Thursday, right? I know it's December 17th or 16th.
Official
whatever.
release is 17th, but in America that means the 16th because it released the day before.
Right.
And it's not like it used to be where you'd have a midnight showing. Like they have about the same exact amount of showings they do on the 16th as they do the 17th.
And I have to stay off from all of the internet on the 15th because it comes out in parts of Europe on the 15th.
Actually, the world premieres today, I think.
Oh,
I'm just posting and ghosting. Like I'm not doing anything because I don't get to see it till Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got like days where I'm gonna have to like post something on Instagram, do it like this, like squinted, so I can't read anything except for my shit.
yeah. Like with FanaticNOW, so we talk about everything dealing with comics or comic related anything, whether it's the books themselves or movies related to it, whatever. But these days, it's all Spider-Man pretty much.
Right.
So
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is like, I know as much as I'm into this stuff, if there's leaks that happens weeks and months ahead of time, there's no avoiding it. So I like to embrace that and like look into them, come up with my own predictions, all that. But a day before, when people actually start seeing the real movie, I don't want to be spoiled.
Yeah.
So
Right. Yeah.
So those are the things I want to avoid. So I want to avoid spoilers, and yet we love talking about like every possible leak. So
I had Endgame spoiled for me. I don't know if I told you guys that. Yeah.
you did.
I was pissed. I mean, I tried not to believe it. Like, I was just like, you know what? This person probably has no fucking clue what they're talking about. That's a pretty obvious move. So they're
Right.
probably just, grasping at straws. That's what I was looking for.
What was the spoiler?
Tony.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Where he laid the egg. That part. That shit was nuts.
Yeah.
It was disgusting.
Because I know a lot of
Go
people.
watch Endgame if you haven't. That part's crazy. Where Tony literally just takes a giant shit on Thanos' head. And it's
And
pretty
then Ant-Man goes up Thanos' asshole
Right.
and then bursts out from inside of him. Yeah.
cool. Specifically his asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the softest and easiest part to go in.
I got into Endgame spoiler free. I got in on it spoiler free, but the one thing that had been spoiled was that they used time travel, and I'm like, oh well,
Yeah.
that's easy to figure out. I knew that a year ago. Like
Right.
that's not really a spoiler. So
Give me this. It's doing things.
is it?
Yeah. Josh's phone was they had a notification up on his phone, and I heard some. I don't know if it was. I don't know. I doubt it was going to show up in the recording. But in my
I didn't hear
headphones,
shit.
I could hear some static,
I didn't hear
some
anything, but it's
interference. You were talking.
Well, whose just thing went off that time? Kyle. That's going to show up on the recording.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. That's okay though. We get like 2 or 3 email notifications per episode.
Yeah.
shut that down
Before I mute it.
I've thought about putting up a counter on there. How many times is Kyle's email going to go off before anybody actually says anything?
Yeah. All right, so Bryton and Josh are here today, obviously, to talk about Spider-Man. This episode is being recorded on Monday, and it's going to go out on Wednesday before the movie comes out. And hopefully that means a lot of you guys are listening.
And there'll be this episode, and there'll be a companion episode over on our channel, FanaticNOW.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
on FanaticNOW, we've already filmed a thing where we went through and broke down all the trailer footage, all the stuff you're supposed to see But you know how like studios want to throw it out of order so you can't make sense of anything? We made sense out of the stuff you're already supposed to know. So
you took all the trailer clips and put them in chronological order.
Right.
Like,
in word form, not in
on...
actual like.
Okay.
Like we didn't.
Yeah. Like you'll see Peter wearing a certain black shirt.
Right.
And he's wearing that in this scene and on that scene, but in the trailer, they seem like they're in opposite spots. Obviously, it's the same day.
Right.
Or other times where like he's on the roof versus him going here. You know that's his first day of school because you see him wearing that when he's going to school on the first day of school. So it's like we just pieced it together so that it would make sense chronologically.
To help people kind of put it together in their brains. Yeah.
And we saved all the predictions for this.
Yeah.
Okay. Top 5. Well, hold on. How do you... So, honestly, this is kind of... There's like a 50-50 thing happening here. You're halfway running the show, and I'm halfway running the show.
No, you're running the show.
No, because you guys have... I know you got shit you definitely want to talk about, and I'm pretty sure you got ways you want to do it, and I'm just here along... Like always. I'm along for the ride.
We have a checklist because of the fact that every time we do this, it turns into a 4-hour of us being like...
Right.
But while we're on this topic... So we have
somebody has somewhere to be today.
All right. Sorry.
You got really sad. I was joking.
Plans. I can't help it.
All right,
I'm a popular person.
My first thing that's just the most random shit. I was just watching some YouTube videos on this right before you guys got here, and I noticed in one of the latest trailers, Rogers the musical is in that, which makes sense. You know, Hawkeye. It's in Hawkeye. It's pretty prevalent.
Well, we actually saw that in the first trailer.
Oh, okay.
Whenever he's swinging across by the J. Jonah Jameson being broadcasted.
In the first trailer, wasn't there? Was it?
Yeah,
I think they've added it. It's the same scene.
Has my brain just added that in automatically?
Yeah, the Rogers little media
I
display
swear
that
it's
they
in the
have.
First trailer.
It's the same scene, but that's not present.
Do we need to pause
the first
this
time
and
it was?
watch the movie?
I could be wrong. I don't think so though.
Maybe
the point is
added it.
It's there now.
Yeah,
and it's like they're making like it's just helping everybody connect the shows and the things.
Yeah.
Anyway, my whole point is, if Sony doesn't hire someone to actually write this fucking or Marvel have someone write this musical and make it a Broadway production, do you know how dumb they would be to not do that?
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
It's 100,000% gonna happen. That was my first thought.
But I don't think they'll actually make it just like that because they purposely, I think, made it cheesy here.
Yeah. They'll make it good.
Yep. I do think we'll get one, but
you
we'll
really
get a
think
good
so?
one. Yeah.
There's a Spider-Man musical already, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, like, why not? I mean, I could give you a million reasons why not, but like,
and I don't know that we'll get I'm not saying I'm predicting that we'll get Rogers the musical, but I think we'll get something similar.
I could see us getting an Avengers the musical or something like that.
I think there's going to be. They're doing so much like.
You think they'll stay on the nose with it?
Yeah, because like it's so prevalent. Like in their, it's like they're putting it in our brains already. So when we see it, it's not like, oh, that's fucking weird.
See,
it's like, oh shit, this was in the show and in the thing, and I really want to go see that.
I have a different take on it, and Stan could possibly agree with me here.
Bryton has removed my Stanley bobblehead head.
So the thing
that was a weird sentence.
The thing is, I think them drawing attention to Rogers the musical is for a different reason. I personally feel like it's probably more of it's trying to show where America is after, like post snap. Like
still dealing with it?
Yeah, because
and
that's
now
also
we're in like a weird territory of dealing with it.
Mm-hmm. And I think all of this is kind of going hand in hand with US Agent.
It's hero worship.
Yeah. And I think they're doing that on purpose to set up for things like Secret Invasion and Armor Wars.
Totally agree.
And I think that's the only reason why I don't think Rogers the Musical has any implications outside of the MCU. I think it's mainly to show hero worship because, like, hell, they literally, while we're on the topic of Spider-Man, the Statue of Liberty has a fucking giant Captain America shield on it.
Yeah. I was mentioning to you earlier. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, like, I feel like everybody's going to see that and assume that is a tribute to Steve Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's Captain America's shield. But we don't know when this is happening. So could this be government propaganda promoting
US Agent?
The new Captain America? Yeah. from what you saw in Falcon. Like, this could have been a whole promotion,
right?
Which would make more sense that it gets destroyed in the movie, because would we want to see a Steve Rogers memorial built and destroyed?
No.
But would we want to see a John Walker tribute destroyed? Yes, we would.
Because it definitely seems like that based on the environment in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it seemed Bucky's been in therapy for probably a few months now, because he's been to several sessions. So we were talking about this earlier. I think it's probably taking place probably spring, early summer is when Falcon and the Winter Soldier is taking place. I think that was starting. It was the starting of a construction of putting a Captain America shield up there for said propaganda for U.S. Agent to be like, hey, and Rogers the Musical is just an added on thing on top of that to really hammer home where MCU is trying to be like, look at, because the MCU is trying to go cosmic, especially with things like the Eternals. We're probably going to get with Thor: Love and Thunder, with Gore the God Butcher, possibly with eventually Null and big ass guy Galactus. Stuff like that. Yeah, my brain
just Galactus.
We're getting
Adam Warlock, and then hell, even you could even say Cosmic would fall into Quantumania and Multiverse of Madness.
And the Eternals is going to spin off into so many cosmic directions.
Exactly. So I think this is trying to show kind of the chaos that's going on in America, and them trying to basically use hero worship of U.S. Agent, John Walker, Captain Steve Rogers, all to basically build that whole we are tough exterior and kind of build up what they are. And it's going to start to show this separation between the MCU.
So your reasoning behind it, I 100% agree with. I don't think it negates whether the musical could still be like trying to plug in your ear too. It could be a dual thing, because I agree with what you're saying though. And then
Marvel likes money. That's all I'm saying. And like it's all like in my head. I was like, that could be real.
Oh yeah.
Like that was just my first thought. Not like that should be real for money reasons. I was like, why isn't that a play? And I'm probably not the only person going,
Avengers on Ice.
That'd be cool to see. I don't want to see Avengers on Ice, but I'd like to see Rogers the Musical.
But kids would want to see Avengers on Ice.
I mean,
fuck them kids. I don't care.
Years ago,
you just said money. Like
years ago, I went to basically a Cirque du Soleil version of Marvel, where you have Spider-Man doing so much like trapeze, like bullshit every which way. You got Captain America was actually on motorcycles doing flips and stuff. It was all an indoor arena. Where did I go? I can't even remember where this was. Somewhere in the Triangle. I can't remember which location I was at, but it was kind of badass. But it was kind of a play, but it was more, you know how
the Greensboro Coliseum.
No, it was in the Triangle.
I know a lot of things like that happen in the Greensboro Coliseum.
But yeah, and not to get off subject, but what you're mentioning about Marvel going very cosmic, totally agree with everything you said about that. But on top of that, I think Marvel is getting so expansive that they're not just going cosmic. I think they're trying to split where you've got all of these things happening on a cosmic level that feels like one storyline. And they're going to go very street level at the same time, because they're going to about to start introducing She-Hulk and Moon Knight and Echo. Yeah.
Miss Marvel.
I think Marvel is trying to give you the sense that there's two Marvels happening. You're going to follow the cosmic storyline and the street level storyline, which eventually will collapse into each other.
Yeah.
But for a while, I feel like they're trying to give us two separate things.
Did you already make a point that they did that already? Did you not? I just want to make. I don't want to make sure I didn't.
No, you go
because
ahead.
they did do that already. Like if you think about it, they had Iron Man and all that shit going on Earth for the longest time, and Guardians of the Galaxy, and I feel like there's something else I'm forgetting, but kind of Captain Marvel-ish, because she was kind of all over the place. But you know what I'm saying?
Captain Marvel was still a primarily Earth-based film.
Yeah,
Right.
Captain Marvel didn't happen. As far as release in theaters,
maybe it's just Guardians of the Galaxy.
What you're talking about is the foundation of it.
Right.
Like,
I'm not saying they did cosmic and this already. I'm saying they had two separate
Well,
Like,
you
it's
had
like all
mentioned that
this
they
shit's
had
been
done
going
this
on
before.
Earth, right?
That was like the trial run type of thing.
Yeah,
I
they
feel.
didn't get married. Those two storylines, it was mainly just Guardians. That was truly cosmic because we didn't have Captain Marvel until after Infinity War and before Endgame.
Yeah.
So they really didn't marry Guardians with the rest of the crew until Infinity War. Infinity War. The only cosmic you got outside of Guardians was everything that happens with Thor. But Thor's back forth. So it was kind of halfway already kind of married. But this time I really feel like you're going to feel like these things have nothing to do with this thing. And that could go on for years. I think there's going to go on years and years of these street level not crossing over with these cosmics.
Like
totally
the comic
different
books.
stories. Exactly.
Right.
And then we'll have a big crossover event.
But I think they're
Secret Wars. Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
Question.
It's
Can I have a beer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead and grab two so you don't have to get in there twice.
well.
Bryton? Just grab them. Hand them out, buddies. I keep beer.
I wasn't gonna drink, but then I
You
was
know
like,
me. I got beer.
But
Sorry, Brighton. I interrupted you for a dumb joke. Go ahead.
no, I did. The one thing I wanted to point out is I feel like they're kind of doing a reverse compared to what they did in the comics.
What do you mean?
I tried to be the most quiet out of all of y'all for some reason.
Citrusy.
In the comics, you slowly got hero worship, and then the big collisions happened. Like things like Civil War and Secret Invasion. We have already gotten Civil War, and now we're getting the hero worship. One of the problems that caused Civil War was the hero worship.
I do think this will all lead to Civil War 2.
Yeah, Civil War
that's-
2.
There's a second one?
Yes,
Yeah,
that
but
also
it'll be down the road, and it won't follow the comics.
Kingpin's very influential in Civil War 2, but that Secret Invasion and Armor Wars, all of which we know are coming except for Civil War 2, but you can kind of make a guesstimate that it probably will happen.
I feel without doubt we'll get Civil War 2. I do not feel like it'll be as faithful to the comics as Civil War 1. And Civil War 1 took their own liberties.
But at this point,
I think we're going to get more that time we'll have X-Men and Fantastic Four, and we'll finally get kind of the true struggle. Because have you ever read the original Civil War?
No.
So what happened is when they split, the X-Men were on the side of keeping their secret identities. The whole
reason.
fight was we need to reveal ourselves because of X, Y, and Z. And then there's a whole group that was like, no, we shouldn't do that. It wasn't about like the similar what happened with the Sokovia Accords in the MCU.
Yeah.
And so the X-Men were like, so we're not going to fucking do that because
You don't have to live this kind of life.
yeah,
Like,
we are hated as mutants.
Which is so weird because, like,
It's a commentary on racism.
well,
Yeah.
I get that, but what I'm saying is when they combine these two universes, when Fox like comes into I guess ex-Fox properties or whatever, they're still Fox properties, right?
Yeah.
Disney just bought Fox.
It's the best way to describe them as of now.
So when Fox properties come into the MCU, as far as mutants go, it's like, are they gonna make it so it's like the same way it was in all the other X-Men franchises, where it's like they're treated like lesser?
we have no idea.
Hopefully.
Because but how? Because like you've got Spider-Man and he's like they don't hate anybody with special abilities in the MCU. Like
they don't
that.
hate
That.
mutants because of
They're scared of them.
they're scared of them because of the potential that they can be, and because of several alpha and omega level mutants, i.e. Magneto,
Right.
and Mystique, and a lot. What it is there wasn't a huge fear of mutants until more of a rise of mutants.
Yeah. So
So you're so are you saying
he's
they're
the
going to come
X-Men?
in?
He's the X-Men expert, so I'll let him talk on this.
picture it this way: for every name the coolest mutant you know about.
Quicksilver.
All right. So
I just like going fast.
So for every Quicksilver, there's 99 teens out there that when they hit puberty, your sweet little baby, that human baby that's just precious and everything that's grows up for the first 12, 13 years is completely a normal kid, nothing wrong with him. For every Quicksilver, 99% of the time, that baby turns blue or pink or blows up into 500 pounds or erupts into fire and burns your house down because they can't control their abilities. Mutants are like, a lot of them don't have any control over it. It hits them when they hit puberty, and they have no structure as far as like how to control their powers. They are a menace to society, but it's not their fault. Like they can't help it. They were born that way.
Right.
But it's a horrible affliction. So parents become super fearful that what if my kid has that mutant gene? And they don't want their kids to be mutants. So in the back of their head, they've already got that racism, sexism type of thing. Now they have a mutantism type of thing where like they're so fearful of that. And then you get to the point where, say you don't have kids, say you're not that person, a different scenario. How trustworthy do you have of keeping all your money in a bank when you know that somebody with no effort whatsoever can just turn this invisible and walk through the walls and just walk in and take any amount of money they want?
I mean, I get why they hate them.
Yeah.
Why they're scared of them, why they don't like them.
Yeah.
My biggest question was when they bring these. Sorry, I just let you guys explain for a long time before I realized, oh shit, they didn't. I don't think we're on the same.
Well, I think what we're answering is that we don't know how, like, nothing's been revealed yet. So we don't know how the MCU will handle it.
Right.
But without a doubt, if they try to keep to any semblance of the comics or the Foxverse,
right.
Yeah, the public's going to hate them.
So how do they explain it? Like, how do they do that? Because in my head, it's if you have somebody walk up with claws like Wolverine, or, I mean, even somebody as powerful as Magneto. Like, you could argue, like, you've got Magneto, sure, but we've got Thor, and nobody's, like, fucking scared of this guy. I mean, he's Chris Hemsworth. And not Ian McKellen, but...
But you also have to understand, those are gods or unknown creatures or whatever. Like, these are literally everyday people's lives.
So you think it just makes sense for them to be okay
if your
with
child
the
had
Avengers?
a 1 out of 10 chance of being a mutant, and you hated mutants...
So what you're saying is you don't think they're going to have to, like... make some weird acrobatic explanation.
No.
It'll just be like...
It'll be very...
Yeah, no. That one's hot. You're scary.
I think they'll copy exactly what the comics did. It's exactly what it's exactly what Fox did as well with the very first X-Men movie in 2000, 2001. You'll have a Senator Kelly will come out and start fear-mongering. And I mean, I don't want to... we don't need to get into politics, but it's always kind of like seen as one side of politics. There's always kind of like a Republican that goes up and starts letting everybody know that, hey, you know, we have to protect how America is right now. We can't let this keep happening. And he gets so much popularity that in other politicians, Democrats and everything else kind of join that side because the whole public kind of turns on this side where they embrace the fact that we got to think of humans first. We've been here forever. We got to protect this. Mutants are the abnormality. We have to stop this because it's going to change everything. Because think about Thor.
Did you hear it that time?
I did hear it.
It is your phone. It just like came that static that we just heard.
I thought I turned everything down.
No. It's the signal.
It's the signal
hitting the phone.
It's because it's coming. It's coming down, hitting the mic, and hitting your phone.
That's why this time it was like. It was like a little plane flying by with a fucking. It was a pigeon just. That was a weird.
That's fucking crazy that happened.
I've heard it before. Like that's why. Like originally when I first started doing this, I would tell people like, "Hey, you got a phone on you?" Or no. It does the same thing. Sorry, I did do it with the podcast sometimes, but it my biggest thing is interviews when I'm filming interviews and stuff. That I'm like, you got a phone in your pocket? Give me, because if you have that receiver right now, anyway.
Gotcha.
What were we saying?
So I just wanted to point out one more. Don't forget what you were going to say. I wanted to comment on one more thing he said. You said, why weren't they like that for Thor?
Right.
My favorite scene in the first Avengers movie, the scene that I feel like made that movie, and without it, it would have felt similar to some DC bullshit where they don't go through a story arc process. The reason that movie worked so well is the scene in the lab where they all start arguing. And they're literally like, it's when Captain America figured out that Tony and Bruce was right, that Nick Fury's hiding the fact that they're building weapons and all of that. And they're like, why are you building these weapons? And he turns around, he points at Thor, he's like, because of him. A god came down from the sky and we can't handle that.
Right.
And there's going to be more. Not all of them are going to be nice. Motherfucker. Remember that?
Yeah. I do remember that. I watched that movie recently.
So, like, there's a lot of fear there with Thor. It's just everything he was doing was so nice, you know?
Yeah.
But when it could be your kid, when it could be the person going into the bank, mutants are just a different type of scare. Please go.
I was just gonna say, if you base it solely off of like the source material from when what Stan was writing, the same argument could be made of why did white people hate black people so much to repress them when there's nothing different about them except for one attribute.
Yeah.
But they didn't hate some other races. No, white people hate a lot of races, but I'm just saying like there's always for some reason different reasons why.
There's races we didn't hate.
I think there's at least one or two, I imagine.
I don't know, man. I can't think of any back then.
Well, they didn't segregate Asian people for a long time. That's what I'm saying. Like
they put them in concentration camps.
They just sent them to dig railroads with nitroglycerin.
Yeah. I get your point completely. I'm just saying I can't think of a single race.
Anyway, so
I would say like they hated them, but still. But that's what I was trying to say. Like comparatively, like people were still afraid of Thor, but not to the extent that they are going to be afraid of mutants.
Gotcha. So
and hell, we might also see that shift anyway. With after this Spider-Man movie, we see a lot of people hate Spider-Man.
Right.
A lot of people.
It's immediate.
Yeah.
The whole crowd turns on him immediately.
That opening scene trailer is like the most infuriating part. Is where she's like, let's see that face. And then he jumps away and she's like, Spider-Man hit me. Mitch, if you don't shut the fuck, I will turn around and kick the shit out your ass.
Did you see that dude that like jumped off his car?
It looked like really acrobatic. Like was like he was a cougar.
He made a great effort.
Yeah.
But what the fuck was he going to do with him if he catches a person that can lift buildings?
And also, like, he was already in motion. Things in motion tend to stay in motion. He was going to grab on the Spider-Man, and he was going to go for a joyride with Spider-Man.
Right, yeah.
He wasn't going to pull...
That might have been his intention.
Like, maybe he was like...
if he falls, Spider-Man's not going to let him die.
I'm just saying that scene...
that thought might have gone through his head.
That scene feels eerily real.
Yeah.
Like, if Spider-Man was real and all this went down, I feel like that's exactly...
That's why it pissed me off.
Yeah.
Because I was like...
And
there's actually people like that.
That Karen made me hate her so much within a few seconds of watching it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got to give that actor credit because I hate her.
Yeah.
And that wasn't a real scenario, but she was so real with it. I hate her.
Yeah.
It's fun. And some actors and actresses love that. Like the actress who played Cersei in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
She used to get hate mail, like death threats type of level. And she's like, it makes me happy because
you're doing your job.
That means I'm doing a really good job because people are supposed to hate Cersei.
So kudos to that woman because I hate her.
Speaking of actors.
Maybe she was a real Karen in real life.
Speaking of actors that are really good at what they do. Willem Dafoe's Goblin face. Like, without the mask.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, what do you think happens with the mask?
Well, we see it broken.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
I think probably Tom wins in a fight. The first fight with his old tech, and then that's when Willem Dafoe gets his tech upgrade, and that's...
Which is odd that his tech upgrade involves no face shield.
How do you think...
That you think of?
Oh, maybe it's like a...
Yeah, I think that we could see some different variations of...
Not hologram, but like an energy shield type thing. His underbite smile thing is kind of weird. I hope that he was just had some dust in his eye in that few seconds that they were showing in the trailer because he was like,
well, in the original Spider-Man movie, 20 years ago, you know that the Norman scenes, he's wearing fake teeth, and in the Goblin scenes, it's actual Willem Dafoe without. Like they had to make him look good to be the businessman. And they let him be himself to be Goblin. It's the opposite of how most movies, they do things to make somebody look evil and stuff. It was the opposite. They put in teeth plates.
I didn't know that. I didn't know they were fake. That makes sense. Though. He does. Have
if you look at him as a businessman,
teeth.
He smiles. He's got perfect teeth.
Yeah,
that's not Willem Dafoe.
Yeah. Huh. I started this company. Out am I? Anyway,
I downloaded the Spider-Man. I acquired the Spider-Man movies and was like...
Bought them legally from your local Walmart.
And so I need to watch those.
I could do Friday. Walmart commercials. Hold on, did you hear that? I'm not going to do it again if you didn't hear it. Anyway.
Thought maybe you were going to give us a shout.
You accidentally said something there where about 2 minutes ago.
How do you know?
It sounded genius. No.
You said hologram, and then you backed up and you're like, well, not a hologram, but blah, blah, blah. And it made me think,
Energy shield was the second. But you didn't hear the smart one.
Accidentally said hologram.
Right.
You didn't mean that. Yeah. There's theories out there that none of these villains or anything's real, that it's all Mysterio again. That Mysterio.
Do you know how fucking pissed I would be?
Me too, which is why
that's like the waking up and it's all a dream thing.
Yeah.
We just talked about that earlier off of a recent rumor that's kind of flying around right now. We just discussed how pissed I'd be if it was one of those like it was all a dream type of scenarios.
There's a theory.
But it's Toby. Toby wakes up in his bed, sweaty. He's like,
there's a theory.
Puts on his glasses and walks out the door.
That's the end of the Tom Holland trilogy.
The theory that I do not subscribe to, the theory is that the reason we're only getting 5 villains is because Mysterio is the mastermind of the Sinister Six.
I hope he's alive.
And that's the big twist, that this was a Sinister Six all along.
Ooh.
And that's
spicy.
Well,
and the theory goes deep enough to even mention that Toby and Andrew do appear, and they're all just to mind fuck with Tom because Mysterio is trying to like destroy Tom's mind and just like corrupt him down into nothing.
Are you saying that Toby and
I'm
and
not
Andrew,
saying any of this, but
some people are saying that Toby and Andrew are just holograms, or like
the whole
all the villains,
all the villains,
the whole multiversal thing.
Oh, everything.
Yep, that this is all Mysterio thing. The whole
I thought we were talking. I thought we were on the Mysterio just being alive and he's the
mastermind of this whole movie. And he's trying to
mastermind is
back at Tom Holland's Peter.
Oh, okay. See, I thought we had shifted gears. I think
he was Doctor Strange, cool. And that's why Doctor Strange acts differently. Yep.
There's a whole theory.
I can buy into it, but I will say, I don't think they would do that since that's the whole premise of Spider-Man 2.
Right.
They'd be repeating themselves, and that would make no sense.
What I was thinking you were saying was Mysterio. You said he's over everything and it's all a dream, like kind of thing. And then I was like, I thought you started talking about Mysterio possibly being alive, and he's not doing that, but he is somehow orchestrating just getting all of these different dimensions together.
But it's revealed in Far From Home that he doesn't have that interdimensional power. It's all holograms.
Mm-hmm. Now, I could see him being the one.
Or is it?
Well, so there is a backup to this theory. I don't think they're all holograms, but I will say, because a hologram didn't punch the shit out of Lizard, but...
I mean, if one is a hologram and the other is a hologram, it certainly could happen.
But
if they're all holograms,
I will say that I find it interesting that. Where was I going with this? Where's my thought? What's my thought? Okay. That Mysterio could be the one giving them all Stark tech.
Okay, yeah, and I'd be cool with that. Mm-hmm. Like if I really want him to still. Honestly, Mysterio is just one of my favorite characters.
He's awesome.
And it just goes back to as a kid, I was like, that's a badass fucking costume. And like little old, little new, little Aquaman, little Superman. Yeah, I like it.
Far From Home,
little crystal ball.
Far From Home was unique in the fact that they stayed extremely loyal to Mysterio and extremely changed Mysterio. It was a cool little thing they did there.
I didn't like it, but. I mean, it was cool.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, it was like one of those I mean, I guess they did their job because like they made you like Mysterio, like as an ally, and then it turns out he's a bad guy, and then everything, like him being just fake.
The whole movie, I knew he was like, a bad guy. So I wasn't fooled by the whole good guy, bad guy thing.
I stopped trusting him, like, maybe, I don't know, halfway through
I never started trusting him. I just thought it was cool because I didn't completely see how the twist and turn would happen. Right. So I was still shocked, even though I knew it was happening. I didn't know how, and when it happened, I was like, "Oh, this is how you're doing it. Cool. All right."
How does he do it in the Spider-Man game? Mysterio is in the Spider-Man game, right? No. I'm thinking of that. I'm thinking of that trip he goes on with Doc Ock. Never mind. Mysterio is in the Spider-Man 2 game. From way back, 2004, I think. Is when that came out. Anyway,
is everybody at a stopping point?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. You brought up about how Mysterio could be the one behind getting the Stark tech, but I don't feel like that's anybody's first guess here, is it? Does anybody think that Mysterio is behind the Stark tech?
No. I just
Because I want to hear everybody's theory.
maybe
because
that's
my
maybe
biggest
from the
question
grave.
point, I think.
Somehow, maybe from the grave. I don't know.
I
Maybe
think
he had shit set up.
there's two options to this. Either he is returned because of everybody who's been killed by Spider-Man is there, or they are all variants, and it'd be Mysterio, and he'd just be like, I was using Stark Tech before, I'm going to use Stark Tech again. I know how to get it. I was already operating it.
I don't like the Mysterio theory with any of this, just because why would there be an illusion set up when we know the multiverse is real and we've already got everything? The King reveal with He Who Remains at the end of Loki. We know that the multiverse is in a spiral mode right now where Kings are being released. The TVA has been taken over. Why put a twist and turn with, the multiverse not being completely real in this movie at this point? So yeah, I don't buy into the Mysterio part of it.
Oh, you mean Mysterio like creating holograms?
Yeah, but I mean, you mentioned like he would possibly, his vendetta against Tony Stark, he could be the reason that like Electro gets an arc reactor and stuff like that. Like, I don't see him even being needed in this movie is what I'm saying.
Oh, probably not. It just, off of everything we have, how many do we have right now? Lizard, Sandman, Electro, Green Goblin, Doc Ock. That could be everybody.
Yeah, we have 5, and it just seems weird they'd give us 5 and not give us 6 or 6. But
also, why would they do a 6 and not tell us?
Well, from a while back who I thought the 6th one was going to be. I thought it was going to be Kingpin. But
Broke Stan's finger. It's okay. I got some super glue.
I don't even know what that point happened. I just kept staring at that little thing over there. And I was like, that looks like a finger.
Stan's finger is, again, probably doesn't look too
I didn't do it.
Dissimilar.
I haven't touched that thing yet, other than the head you handed me.
Anyway, as you were saying.
So,
sorry for that lull, everybody.
I thought with 5 villains, I have kind of felt for a while that there must be a secret that they've been able to keep, that there'd be a 6th one, because why give us 5 and not give us 6 when the whole, famous thing.
Why wouldn't it? I mean, I'm just going to guess that, because I don't know for sure. I'm going to guess Venom is not part of the Sinister Six at any point.
Well, he's not a major part of the Sinister Six in the comics. He is. He is
in Sinister 66.
Yeah.
So, but all like.
I think we've had this conversation.
Yes,
we did.
Sinister 66 is just a story he tells to a kid in the hospital.
He would work. The MCU could do something where he could work, but at the same time, he's just trying to lick Tom Holland's face. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and if you
why would he even jump in to help Goblin or any of them? Like, it doesn't exactly. I don't feel like there's enough setup for that to make any sense.
And if you believe the rumor,
that was weird. That was a weird.
I thought Josh was going to pick up from that.
And if you believe the rumor,
the post credit,
post credit Venom rumor.
Do we want to talk about post credit scene rumors
from Venom?
No, from Spider-Man: No Way Home.
There's already leaked rumors that aren't confirmed. I don't have any confirmation, but I know of some people that have been right a lot, so there's some reason to listen to them about what the ending is and what a post-credit scene is.
No, I don't want to know.
Okay.
I don't want to know.
I don't even believe them, so.
Yeah, they're both kind of far-fetched enough that it's like.
Yeah. I'm not going into the movie thinking, that's how it's going to end, and this is the post-credit scene. Yeah,
because these are also people that haven't really seen the like.
This Daniel RBK didn't say it, and he's the one that's pretty much always right. When he releases something, it's right. It's not him. It is somebody that's gotten some stuff right before, but it's also somebody who's gotten a bunch of stuff wrong. So,
how do you think Toby's going to look?
Old.
Like, do you think he's going to look like, damn, he's in good, like, do you think he's going to be in good shape? Do you think they're going to make him look
all
like,
right.
So
let's
is he going to look,
let's pause.
Cause hang on real quick, back in those, like the 2004 movies and whatever, they made him, he was like, he wasn't a skinny Spider-Man. He was thick. Like he wasn't like built.
He a thick boy.
He was a thick boy. He had a thick, like he was just a thick torsoed person, I guess, in general. And so I know that like it was clear Tobey Maguire like gained weight for that. Like for that that off like a shirt off scene where he's like what the fuck? Mm-hmm. And so I'm wondering if they're gonna have to bulk him up.
They don't have to do anything to anybody anymore. Tom Holland, when he's wearing the suit, that's not even the shape of his head.
I'm saying
he's
like,
wearing a helmet, and then they put a mask over it.
I'm saying, are they going to bulk the character up to fit more like a not like a Chris Hemsworth or Chris Evans physique, but like maybe a Vision physique? Because Vision wasn't like huge.
Well, if the leak photo that we got about a month ago is real, then he honestly looked pretty much like he did 20 years ago. Hmm.
I mean, he looks like he does
his face looks older.
Yeah.
He looks 40-ish. Mm-hmm. His haircut's a little different, and in that leaked photo, it does look identical to how he looks in real life now today. But as far as body structure, it looked like him 20 years ago.
And granted, he was on his in his side, right, in the photo. Yeah. So you can't really like see too much of like.
You don't see this, but from a side view, he wasn't fat. Mm-hmm. He wasn't overly muscular. He was just.
Did he look like battle-worn Spider-Man? Or
Tom Holland was very cut up and bruised up.
I meant like rode hard and put up wet for years and years. Spider-Man. Is that what Toby looked like?
No, he looked.
Are they going to try to make it look like he just came out of the same?
And again, it could be
the
fake.
Same time we left.
That picture may not be real, but the picture that was leaked
looks really pretty real.
Just looked like Tobey Maguire.
Do you think that they're going to pull Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire from the last point in time we saw them as an audience?
No.
Like, are they still going to be? Are they going to de-age Toby a little bit?
All right. Can we pause?
If you believe the leaks,
I got to pee. All right. But I want to actually do a pause because when we come back, I got a game I want to play with you.
Okay.
All right. So
my toes are tingling. I'm ready.
All right.
He reminds me very much of Into the Spider-Verse, older Peter Parker, like that, like Tobey Maguire.
Not he looks that downridden.
Yeah, but he looks
a little. I don't think
the
cartoon version had a dick like that either.
I mean, we all can't be packing like Toby.
How do you want to come back?
Right on that.
I thought we were back. We're back. Hey, we're back. We're back. You got that right.
All right. So the reason I asked you to pause, you're bringing up a couple things that I want to discuss as well, but I thought it would be fun if we played a little game with this. Okay. That way, instead of us each just rambling on and it leading to different things, we can hit some like big points that I want to know y'all's opinion about. Mm-hmm. You want to play a game?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Oh.
Got dry erase boards here.
Yeah, for everybody that's listening.
Oh, yeah.
We have dry erase boards, so we're going to do a fun little game.
We're going to have to fill some dead air, though, like while we're writing. I'm going to be like,
it's going to be yes.
I think maybe
it'll be. They're yes and no.
Yeah, okay. Yes, no, or some variation.
What am I writing?
All right, well,
I'm going to ask a question, and you can just write yes, no, or some very quick version of that answer.
Oh, excuse me.
So
we can alternate asking questions.
All right. First question. Will we see Tobey Maguire?
All right. You ready?
Well, that feels obvious.
And reveal.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah.
For sure. If not, I'm going to be fucking pissed.
Since we're already discussing that one, let's just jump straight to the next one.
Mm-hmm. Do you think we'll see Andrew Garfield?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
so we're all yeses.
Yeah. Do you think we're going to see Tom Holland?
Any thoughts on how we're going to get Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire?
I don't think it's going to be till the end of the movie. I think it's going to be one of the very last, one of those last, as the things are starting to fall apart, they'll appear. But I don't think it's what Doctor Strange is referring to, the whole they're coming
They're starting
through.
to come through.
Yeah.
I can't stop them.
I think.
That audio is all.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That is some edited audio.
Every trailer there is so far is like,
So edited.
hey, Doctor Strange, can you help me with this spell, please?
Yeah.
Right now? Like, it's like horribly cut together. Super obvious.
But I think my personal opinion is probably that they're going to be brought in at the end. I just don't think that's in reference to them being brought at the end.
Toby's just going to be swinging through on your left.
So I do believe.
I thought it was funny. That's
I like that. I like that. It's not going to happen, but I like
it's
that.
not going to happen.
No.
But wouldn't it be cool?
Yeah, no. I like the Easter egg you threw in there. So I think that they're obviously there for the Statue of Liberty fight.
Yeah.
I think that they're obviously not there when he's in the black suit running around trying to stop Electro during that scene. So yeah, I'm thinking somewhere 2/3, 3/4 to 80% of the way through the movie is going to be his.
In the last like 30 minutes of this 2 hour and 45-minute movie.
Okay, that was my next question. I was like, it's like 2.5 hours long, right?
Yeah. So
it seems like there's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah. What I'm thinking is, why would Doctor Strange even trust them to go Scooby-Doo this crap?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he go do it? He's way like. There's an argument on who's like the stronger super hero between Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, but when it comes to this stuff, no, Doctor Strange is the master. Why is he even trusting them to go do it? I'm thinking he's got something big he's got to handle.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking while he's handling some shit with the multiverse, he's having to get them to chase them down. And when he comes back, he may be saving the day by bringing in some help.
Yeah.
In the way of Toby and Andrew.
Yeah. Do we like this? Are we just
any comments, questions?
Y'all are drawing dicks.
I drew a
Y'all
sword.
are drawing dicks.
It's
I see
a sword. Go to YouTube and you can see mine's a sword.
That's a Rorschach dick.
It's a sword. Maybe that's what you said.
That's a Rorschach ball sack.
It looks like a potato.
It's a potato.
If it looks like that, you should go see a doctor.
Rorschach. Well, okay. All right.
What's the next one?
Will we see Matt Murdock?
I'm just making noise so that there's not dead air.
Post-credit.
Post-credit.
Yes,
right.
Post-credits.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm actually more interested in his.
Yeah.
Explain.
Explain. I just think it would be too fucking much. Like, I think that feels like a post-credit. I think Wilson Fisk is there. He's the one who bought Avengers Tower, and I think he's the one redoing that atrium that Spider-Man flew through. And I'm just regurgitating a bunch of shit I heard in breakdown videos earlier. But it all makes sense.
One of them
to me.
the FanaticNOW breakdown video?
No, sorry, it wasn't. Sorry.
Did you watch it?
Yes, I think.
Okay, well,
I've watched everything you've put up so far. I've watched everything you've put up so far.
So the reason I
You just made me feel really bad, like really awkward. I was like, I mean, it wasn't. It happened to be new rock stars, but sorry, like
Our competitor?
yes, everybody who would have those breakdown videos is your competitor.
I've actually, I'm a huge fan of new rock stars.
Yeah.
I love, I've often said, like, personality wise, we're not the same, but like the way I go into like trying to examine a movie, I feel like Eric Voss a lot.
Yours
with
is
how I look at it.
You guys are more like serious about it. It feels more like a news show vibe.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like it's not as, and sometimes new rock stars, I'm like, that was
Corny.
Yeah, I didn't like that. But anyway,
no, but what I was going to say is I've actually kind of made myself stop watching new rock stars just because they're so fast putting stuff out that I'm working on stuff before they put stuff out. But then by the time I'm recording is about the time they're releasing it, and I don't want to, like, I've already written a script. I don't want to throw stuff off at that point. So I enjoy new rock stars, so I'm not throwing any hate towards them, but I've kind of stopped watching them.
Yeah.
Same.
I think
had to avoid it.
I think post credits, because they're not just going to introduce Matt Murdock. They're going to introduce Wilson Fisk, Matt Murdock. Like there's going to be like, oh, hey, by the way, this universe is also here, just in case anybody was curious.
So the reason I don't say post credit, the reason I say yes that he'll be in the movie, is I think he's going to be the lawyer, and I
feel
think
like that's too on the nose.
I know, but I feel like we have the scenes where
Post credits studying the case against Peter Parker.
could be, yeah.
I feel like it's a nice compromise, and I actually like that. Really,
I
like that.
I like the leak idea that we have of Matt Murdock sitting at the breakfast table with Peter, Happy, and Aunt May. I think that's real, and
I must have missed that.
I just showed it to you.
What?
Yeah, I swiped next to the 3 Spider-Man, and then that was the other picture.
yeah, we had a video about
I didn't
it.
Look at it.
We had a video about it, so
Okay.
you know
It's at least it made its way in like 3 videos so far.
Okay.
just saying.
But
I listen
I'm
to
pretty
everything you
sure-
do, Kyle. I may have to, but still.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see a post-credit scene, but it seems more likely that we're gonna get it somewhere maybe closer to the back end, possibly having to do with things like Wilson Fisk. But since we're talking about Wilson Fisk, let's go ahead and mention, do we think we're gonna see Kingpin in this? Do we think we're gonna see Wilson Fisk in
Well,
this?
I just already answered.
I can't help it. You're wrong.
I've been all over the place with this one, but right now today, my answer is.
Oh wow! I'm thoroughly surprised.
No Spider-Man.
All right. I thought you were going to say
Wait,
yes.
hold on. No Spoder-Man.
No Spooderman.
So we're
Yeah.
both no on that one. All right.
So you guys don't think you're going to see Wilson Fisk at all?
I don't. I think that there could be a mention, a reference that we're like, oh, like I feel like he might be
Like,
made
oh.
aware that he's in this scenario. I don't think we're getting
Like maybe while Peter's swinging through the city or some shit, we catch a glimpse of the tower in the back
Like-
and it says Fisk Tower. Or
Yeah,
something.
something. But
I
I
could
think,
see him being brought into the universe without actually no cameo.
but it seems like Hawkeye is wanting to be the one to kind of break that little Wilson Fisk cherry for the MCU.
Oh, you feel like? Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
being
Yep.
one, Spider-Man was supposed to come out before it
He already
already.
That was a pudgy hand that came and pinched her
That
cheek.
was Vincent
D'Onofrio for
laugh.
damn sure.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
I know for a fact that Kyle's not watching our videos because we do a whole thing about it.
Oh, and it was funny too.
I have seen that. I follow you on Instagram. I see the shit you post. It's just like I don't remember
You
specific
share the
shit
funny
like that.
shit.
Yeah.
Like this, I definitely seen, and you showed it to me, and I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, I've seen that."
We do a breakdown video of the mid-season point of Hawkeye, and we talk about the fact that is. I'm obsessed with the fact that that's Vincent D'Onofrio laughing. That chuckle when he like pinches Maya Lopez's cheek. So
To be very clear, up to a certain point, I did watch everything you guys had out. I thought I was caught up. I just don't be checking shit, and you don't pop up on my feed.
follow up.
Sorry.
you got to click the bell.
Oh, I got to click the bell. That's
follow
not a
up.
personal thing. I don't click the bell for anybody. I've never done that.
Follow up to my last one. Will we see Matt Murdock in this movie as Daredevil?
I fucking hope so. You good? That was I'm just gonna
I
talk.
suddenly changed my answer halfway through writing it. Y'all ready?
No, I'm not. Hang on. I don't have
Jesus,
This is
you
my
talk about
instinct.
dead
This is
air.
my instinct. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
What the hell, man?
No, but possibly post credit.
But no.
But if I have to
No.
say yes or no, no.
Yeah, if it's
no.
a yes or no, it's a no.
Yeah.
But I could make the argument for us possibly seeing Daredevil like with Spider-Man at some point, or something about Daredevil cleaning up the streets, and he's like now to Fisk Tower or something, you know?
I say no because I think it's too much to pile into the movie. We're only going to get.
like we're already getting a shit ton of like we don't want a Spider-Man 3 this thing.
I feel like all this law shit is going to be done pretty early in the movie, so
Yeah.
he can go about his school year and go about everything else. Because this goes from late summer until somewhere around Christmas. So
Really
yeah, I mean it goes to winter.
interesting.
So we're going to have a time jump in this movie. It starts at the end of Far From Home, which is the end of summer. They were on their summer trip.
Right.
So we know it starts in the end of summer. That's a fact. We know that we have scenes where they're at Halloween. We know that there's a scene that seems to be Thanksgiving-ish.
Uh-huh.
So we make it, to late fall. And then we have some snowy scenes, not just in the Sanctum Sanctorum. We have Peter walking through the street holding a letter with snow falling. So it's actually snowing. So winter-ish. I mean, it's New York. It could snow in the fall, but it seems winter.
Yeah.
So this movie's going to span from late July, August.
And
sadly, we don't have a Farmer's Almanac for 2024.
I don't think we'll have room for Daredevil, so that's why I'm saying no. I think we'll get rid of all the law bullshit because they're still planning on going to MIT. They're still doing all this. They're going back to school. So I think the law stuff is going to be handled near the beginning of the movie. That's where I think we're going to get Matt Murdock as the lawyer that comes in and saves the day as far as the law side of it.
Yeah.
Do you think Peter's spider sense will do like when he comes in? Do you think he'll just be alert? Like who the fuck?
No.
Do you think it'll?
That's not the Spidey sense. It's
Danger.
just a warning for danger. And
right.
Matt Murdock
Daredevil's
would be good.
Well, you could argue he's closer to an anti-hero.
Yeah, but he means no ill intention in that he's there to save the day.
Yeah.
The spider sense is only for ill intention.
Okay.
Towards Spider-Man, realistically.
I was thinking.
I think it gets a little bit wonkier
I was thinking
in the
more
comics,
realistic
but
about it though. Like if it was a real sense. To me,
Well,
it would just
danger.
tell me hey, be alert.
When the spaceship comes down in Infinity War, he feels it immediately.
But he's yeah.
What? Be alert.
Yeah.
He's across town, but he still feels it. Which, I mean, he's still in danger's path, I guess. But, you could argue that one.
Yeah. So, how about, are we going to get any of the past MJ or Gwen Stacy? So, Kirsten Dunst or Emma Stone?
Hang on.
God, this is supposed to be a fun surprise. You're showing everybody.
I feel like, you okay? Yeah, you're right. I'll play nicer.
Got a tickle in my throat. Well,
okay.
can
1,
I just hum during these?
2, 3. I think we'll see Mary Jane.
I don't think we'll see any, but I think we'll get references. I think when we get when we get Toby and Andrew, I do think we'll have references. Like there will be a conversation, whether it's them having to save MJ falling or something like that.
Yeah.
Like there will be conversation about how I couldn't do that, I couldn't save my Gwen or blah, blah, blah. I think we'll get references.
You think they'll really go into that stuff? Or do you feel like? I feel like that would almost
quick.
It would almost feel forced. I feel like forced and cheesy. Like they're all
I could see them reusing old footage.
like a flashback. Like
You've mentioned that before, yeah.
Yeah, like not an actual not Kirsten Dunst reprising the role of MJ, but possibly like when Tom is reaching to catch Zendaya, you get like these quick flashes of
you see Toby's eyes,
and, you
then
see
a quick flash to
Kirsten Dunst falling,
Yeah.
and then you see Andrew, and then you see Emma Stone falling. So possibly some flashbacks to their already played roles with previous footage, but I doubt it'll be an actual
I could buy that. Yeah.
So that's not exactly what I was saying, but it's in reference to. That's kind of what I mean. Though I think that we'll get references in some way.
I guess
they're not going to be.
When I thought of references, it was more of like commentary on them, not
I think
actual
it could be
footage
either,
of
but
them.
I'm down with your side of it too. Yeah. All right. What else we got?
Give it away.
Will we see Venom?
Venom.
No. That was a good song by Eminem. I didn't like it at first, but it grew on me. You guys ready? Okay, someone talk so I can write my answer because I can't do this. Is that copyrighted? Is that going to get copyrighted?
No, it's just
Venom.
3 notes going up. Or do you mean Venom?
No, well, either. I guess. All right, I got my answer. I
We're
don't
not
know why it's
monetized.
so hard. Yeah, there's more things just being added to the scene that you're drawing over there on the right. There's like a quiet moment when we flip everything around. I feel like I should be like, no. I should announce my answer.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting that we're
we do need to be announcing.
Yeah,
I thought about that when we came up with this idea, and I was like, for everybody who's not watching, I put post credit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying post credit. I think Venom is going to be. I don't think they have set him up well enough to fit into the movie well, but they obviously, with the post credit scene for Venom 2, have him linked.
Yeah.
So I think it would be. I think there's no chance that we don't get a connection.
I think, okay, if he's post credits, he's not the first post credit scene. He's the one after all the other credits, and he's the tiny one that's like going to be 5 years from now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like in other Marvel movies, there's been like the big, oh shit, this is the next sick ass movie that's about to come out.
What if they fix the broken Spideyverse at the end of this movie? Then that would undo what we saw as a Venom 2 post credit scene, though. So he would get zapped out.
Think so?
If they get rid of the other villains.
I mean,
wouldn't his as well?
Yeah, I guess.
So when you see Doctor Strange's spell, you see 4 bands.
that's assuming they fix it.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's what I'm saying.
We
If
still
they
have
fix it-
Multiverse of Madness.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
things
yeah.
aren't getting fixed,
Yeah.
but yeah. I'm just saying if they fix the Spidey side of it.
Do you think that's all it is? Or you think it's just a like? I mean, I thought
I
they
think
were
this
just
is
saying it was
Spideyverse, but it's happening because
because
of the grander.
because of the. Okay,
I think it's connected.
I think it's.
I think Doctor Strange tried to do a Spider-Man
Spell.
Peter Parker
Right.
spell,
Yeah.
and because the multiverse is in disarray, it allowed for this.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting. All right. So what's the next one?
Do you think Miles Morales?
No.
Is,
I'll just go ahead and tell you. I don't think so.
Well, you could write it down and play the goddamn game.
Okay.
try to bring a new fun element to the podcast.
I didn't say any. What?
You don't play well.
Oh. Oh shit.
So
I'm
we
sorry.
all put reference.
Oh wow, we did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wow.
We all
Yeah.
said reference.
That's
yeah.
the first time in a while we agreed on something,
Yeah.
especially something that's specific.
Yeah, I think it'll be referenced. That was
Yeah,
that was interesting. After we were fighting, we were tussling, we were
came back
mad
together.
at each other, and then we were just like, oh, did we just become best friends? Yeah,
But
yeah, I think it'll be referrenced.
Yep. No, I
Well,
agree.
he was already kind of referenced.
He's been half referenced.
Yeah.
He was cut out being more referenced. Like they filmed more reference to him.
That
but-
was in Homecoming, right? The 1st movie is when he was referenced.
because there's a scene that got deleted where he's still like stuck to the car when
Yep.
Childish Gambino's still stuck to the car,
Right.
And he's like calls Miles and is like, "Hey, buddy, I'm sorry, I can't make it." Like,
Yeah. Hey, Miles, I'm stuck. I can't. I'm not going to be there tonight. I'm stuck. And he's literally stuck.
Uh-huh.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think he'll be referenced. Do you think he's going to take over soon? You think he'll take over?
What do you mean by soon?
It's an easy way for them to continue making money with Spider-Man.
You already know my feelings about
Like
this.
he's gonna.
well, Tom's already been.
he's re-signed for those movies, like you
They
guys
want to
said.
do 9 films with him.
Right, but he doesn't want to be Spider-Man forever, as he's so
I-
blatantly
I
said.
think that's a money grab.
I bet we talked about this, and it's
you
probably
you think
a money
he was
grab.
trying to? He said it on purpose,
Yeah.
like to get his money
Yeah.
bumped up.
It's because they're like, because
Why
he's
would you want
basically
to sign a
saying,
That was
9-movie
pretty
deal?
good.
Why would
That
you
was
want to sign a 9-movie deal when you could sign three movie deals and you'd get paid probably twice as much?
I think he probably said that, and it was like a written interview thing. And his publicist looked at it, like look at it, and she was like, "Oh, maybe we should take." No, hold on. No, leave that in. Don't redact that. So I think they'll probably just pass the baton to whoever plays Miles. Who should play Miles? It'll have to be somebody super young right now that'll grow into it. Because Miles is like fucking 14, right? When he first gets his powers, like he's really young.
I mean, I feel like it's going to be an unknown
yeah,
because I think they'll stay true to ethnicity and culture
Right.
and all that. So I think they'll go out and find somebody that really fits the part without any type of worrying about any backlash. And they should do that anyway. So
because
they're not
Miles
just
is
doing it.
Afro Latinx.
Yeah.
Puerto
so-
Rican and African American.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so I definitely feel like sort of like Echo, the girl who plays Echo. That was her first time ever on a set. She is
ever.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
She hasn't
She
filmed
looks
a
familiar.
commercial.
She looked familiar to me, though.
They went to a reservation, literally a reservation, and found a girl who was deaf and didn't have a leg.
Oh,
and
sorry.
they
Her. All right, my bad.
Who the hell was Kyle talking about?
My bad. See, I don't know the characters' names from the
Did
comic
you think
books.
we met Haley Steinfeld?
Sure, that's her name.
Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's super
I thought
famous.
she
and
was
I
Echo.
only thought she
Yeah.
was semi-famous, and
Yeah,
then I found out that she was super famous.
I thought she was Echo. I thought that was her character.
No.
Maya Lopez, the little girl
Okay.
that Kingpin
I hadn't got that yet.
pinches.
I've only heard her called Maya.
Maya. Yeah.
I've never.
Sorry.
I didn't know the names.
Her code name's going to be Echo.
Okay.
Or Ronan. But that's for a different time.
Oh,
She was
okay.
the original Ronin,
Oh, in the comics.
Yeah.
Okay.
which
She
I
was
think she'll
Ronin
become Ronin.
Right.
But I think they're reversing it. They're having, Hawkeye be Ronin,
Right.
and I think that she'll end up being Ronin.
And in the comics, she's Ronan, and then Hawkeye takes up the mantle as Ronan for a while
Okay.
after her.
What were we talking about?
We're playing a game.
Right.
Miles Morales, who would
We're
play
playing a
Miles,
game. We were talking about.
who would play Miles, but I feel like
I don't believe you.
But we were just trying to make a point that they probably would go and find the most like amateur new at this kind of kid
Right.
who might have like taken acting classes and stuff like that, but may not have appeared in anything. Who will fit more of that that correct Afro Latinx background that
I think it's going to be
Miles
Kyle
is.
Massey.
But all right, before we get off subject, I want to point out massive kudos to this chick playing Maya Lopez. She has never acted before, and I don't mean in a big thing. I mean not even a commercial. She's never been on a set before. She's doing stunts. She's doing martial arts. She's deaf in real life. She is an amputee in real life, and that wasn't even needed for the story because in the comics, Echo has both her legs. This chick's amazing. I'm just really impressed by her. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to point that out.
Did she have to audition or anything? Or did they just go?
Presumably, like they probably didn't just walk on a reservation and like, I'll take that one, wrap that one up to go for me.
I'll take that one.
That sounded.
That's the whitest thing.
That sounded very, very racist. Wow. Definitely not the first time that's been said about a Native American
Say
woman.
she's deaf?
I'll take that
Yeah,
one.
but she's only got one leg. No, hold on.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I'll take her.
You say one less leg. I hear cheaper. Less per pound.
That's both the most sexist and racist thing I think has ever been said on the podcast.
Yeah, it's fine. There's an explicit symbol. Everyone knows we're joking. What's the next one?
Until we get canceled.
see any version of King? Nathaniel Richards, He Who Remains, Jerk.
God, I can't keep saying.
You trying to figure out that you can't keep saying post credits?
Yeah, because I'm like, we're running out of credits, man.
There's 6 post credits scenes that you didn't know.
It's just like, you get like 6 lines of credits,
Are
and
you
then,
ready?
and then you guys show me. No, only hints of his actions. Okay, that's Josh's
I put post credit.
response.
Yeah.
I think it could be post credit, very similar to a Thanos esque
Yeah,
ending where it was like Thanos was just like there and it was like you failed.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking about story at this point. I'm thinking about the fact this is a Spider-Man movie, and like in Iron Man movies, it was like, okay, big post-credit scene that is meant for Iron Man, and then like smaller post-credit scene where it's like, hey, just so you guys know, this is kind of going on in the background. Bye. Okay,
Yeah.
love you.
Okay, before we end, I want to squeeze one more in.
All right.
Oh, are we about to end?
No,
No,
not
the game.
not the
Oh.
game. Mephisto.
This one's easy for me because like I'm not super familiar with the character, so
3, 2, and 1.
nah. It's Go. Bryton said, "Go fuck yourself." Bryton really doesn't like Mephisto. Oh, how do you think Morbius is gonna be?
Fucking amazing.
Think so?
It looks so good.
So
It
it
looks
scares me
good.
because it's Sony.
Right.
And
That's
when
what I'm
Sony
worried
does
about.
these
I wish it was MCU.
I'm more excited about Morbius than I was about Venom 2, though.
Yeah. I honestly do think Morbius looks great. Everything we've gotten, I like what we see.
I have to go to Sony movies like thinking about it as a standalone, like everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's how it is, but it's like it's hard for me not to do that.
So I have a theory that Morbius will take place in the MCU. And the reason the trailer's so ambiguous is because they didn't know how the Sony MCU contract was going to end up. And like they either that or they didn't want people to realize that they were going to start adding things together because the Morbius trailer came out before Venom 2, I think, right? So we didn't even know about the whole post-credit scene.
The first Morbius trailer came out
like a teaser came out.
Yeah, teaser came out a long time ago.
Long time ago.
I think that's the reason it's so ambiguous is because they're trying to be like, are we going to be in the MCU? Are we not? Like, I don't think they want, like, if things go south with the MCU and before Morbius comes out, they didn't want to give too much away.
Yeah.
Because I think Venom and Morbius are here to stay. Like, some people could hint at the fact that maybe Venom isn't staying in the MCU. Like, maybe he could just disappear with the rest of them.
I don't think it fits.
I think Venom stays in the MCU.
I think they stay in their own universe.
Have you heard what Kevin Feige said about Venom?
No.
He said that he's in love with Tom Hardy's version of Venom, and that he almost sees him as like I can't remember the exact reference, but it's almost like another toy in the toy box. Mm-hmm. He's like, I want to play with it kind of thing. He's like, that's some big old dick swinging shit. Like you say that about another man and Tom Hardy at that? Jesus, Kev. All right. So,
God.
This next stage has nothing to do with will they appear. This next stage is will they die?
Who's they?
That's what we're about to play.
Oh.
Will they die?
Okay.
First one, will Aunt May die?
Oh, I hope not. She's good looking.
All right, Tony.
She is.
That just makes me laugh because it's like as if you couldn't see her any other time. Like you just pick.
Oh man,
we're
really
all
for
three
sure?
We said yes.
I said yes, but like it was like begrudgingly. You're like happy about it.
I'm not happy about it. I was just saying.
We're like yes, yeah, for fucking sure. Fuck that bitch. Like
let her fucking die.
Yeah, what?
Like
pumpkin bomb to the chest. Like what the hell?
Goblin's gonna come up and curb stomp her ass, break all her fucking teeth out. But yeah, it seemed it's.
That was violent.
It seems
I don't want her to die.
Yeah.
Hell, I want to get an Aunt Mam. Y'all know about Aunt Mam?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Spider-Man. Sorry, I said
Yeah.
Aunt May becomes a Spider-Man in the comics and Spider-Man.
Gotcha.
It's actually a decent run.
I hope if Aunt May dies, Happy dies too. I hope Happy dies.
On that topic,
like because like
Well,
I'm just
let's
waiting
play
on
the game.
let's play the game.
Okay, sorry.
Will Happy die?
Actually, you know what? Hang on. Let's see.
Kyle's finally playing the game.
I'm gonna go ahead and show you. Sorry, I keep forgetting there's a countdown. So real quick.
What the hell does yours
I
say?
think
I can't
Happy-
even read yours
It says
anymore.
die father figures. Yes, for sure.
Okay. I think he's gonna die. I'm gonna switch my answer from before. I don't think Aunt May is gonna die. I don't think they can both die. But I think Happy dies protecting her
I think they
because
can-
Jon Favreau is tired of this shit.
I think they
also
all can
think
die.
I think he almost dies trying to protect her, but he's left surviving.
Oh.
I think
What did
Happy.
you put? Holy shit! You put no? Kind of shocked.
I'm gonna say no, but he's hurt. Like he's bad off.
I think he dies protecting May
I think he's hauled off to the hospital and she is dead.
because we need a chef too.
I think Happy's gonna die because of the sheer fact that Happy kind of represents another father figure for Tom, and he also he represents like this like kind of lean on person, and I think for what they're going to do with his college run, he's not going to have anyone to lean on anymore. He's out of being a kid. He's an adult now, and to do that, they have to the last ones.
I feel like it's a bit extreme, but I see what you're saying.
Oh, I do too, but
I actually have a comment about that, but I'm gonna save it.
Comic books are traditionally like super fucking brutal to their
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, hey man, look, instead of maybe giving you normal life lessons where you'd grow up and develop as a healthy human being, we're just gonna kill everybody that you're close to, and that'll help you learn to be fucking responsible with your powers.
I mean,
That sucks.
One of the comics this is based off is called One More Day, and it's where Aunt May dies.
She dies in the comic version that has inspired some of this storyline.
Yeah.
You talking about
One More Day.
Ultimate? No.
No. Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh,
Yeah, 616. Now, it's a different story because it's Kingpin's men that go... Jesus, do you remember the specifics?
It's after the events of Civil War where Spider-Man reveals his identity and Kingpin's men come and kill Aunt May and she's in the hospital. Like, they beat the shit out of her basically, and she's in the hospital and she's about to die.
Now that they know who he is.
And Peter goes to Doctor Strange. I forget all the people, but he goes to everybody, and then he ends up on Reed Richards, and he's like, "Fix this," and they're like, "We can't."
So
he goes to Mephisto and makes a deal with the devil.
Right.
And
we have talked about this. Yeah, I remember.
And
that.
the whole scene of Doctor Strange doing this spell, it's Mephisto doing the spell in the comics.
Okay, so do you have another one you want to do?
Yeah,
we got a couple more.
Okay, all right.
And then we'll be done.
I have a question. I have a question for you guys, and we'll wrap it up with that.
Does it relate to Happy or
no? It's
okay.
No.
All right, so we see MJ falling off the building.
Right.
Does she die?
And I can explain why. No.
No.
All right, we're all knows.
And it's because Andrew Garfield is there.
You think Andrew's going to save her?
I think Andrew.
That's a really popular theory right now.
I don't think he's going to save her. I think. Well, maybe. I know a lot of people think that leap that Peter does is deep faked, or like CG.
I was about to say,
Andrew
we see
Garfield.
his hand.
Right.
It is Tom Holland's hand in those trailers that we see.
But it would be like reaching out. It's not hard to replace
it's not
that.
hard to replace.
Yeah. I mean,
And it's
I'm
not even his
like
whole
I'm not even a
hand.
special effects artist, and I could do that.
We pretty much just see the tip of his fingers. Like we see.
You see the black part on his hand. You can tell it's his suit.
I know, but you're just saying we see this. So even the less that's there, the easier it is.
We also see the full.
I mean, it's definitely a
shot
CG hand anyway.
Of her actually falling from like an outside point of view, and the gold emblem spider suit of him diving down. So it's not just the hand. But
I'm not even talking. I'm saying like to reach out and grab her. We see that, but I'm just saying that confirms not shit. He could jump and immediately be hit by a fucking sand fist and knocked out of the air.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
When
Like
Andrew jumps in,
and that's when Andrew says, "Not this time," and grabs her.
This man's got the fucking script like in his back
Not
pocket.
this time, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So I was thinking something. I like your version, but I was thinking something along the lines of like Andrew, like you were saying. There's like flashbacks. He's like, I lost somebody. Make sure you're ready for whatever. Maybe he gives him a pep talk, and that was his way of helping him save his girl.
That seems like a shitty pep talk. I lost somebody once.
You know what I meant? Like his bonding,
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. I was just
his mentor moment. Yeah. All right. Who's next? Next.
All right.
Victim.
Do you think Ned will die?
Because we see him dangling from the pole because he falls pretty much at the same time as MJ, but she falls.
I have my reasons for this answer. You guys are writing paragraphs?
No, I'm changing my answer.
That marker isn't going to write if you do that.
All right, ready?
I've got to give an explanation for mine, but yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, that does require an explanation because this is a yes or no game.
Right.
Well, mine is no, but Peter will think he is.
I'm saying yes because from just I'd never thought about that.
Yeah,
and I think
Marvel
might be. I think Marvel might count on that, and they're like, well, somebody's got to fucking die in this big ass movie.
MJ.
Let's make it Ned. No, because that's people are
or Matt, not Aunt May.
People are thinking about MJ and possibly I don't think about Ned that often as a character.
But
and I think
I think everybody loves him.
I think he's the least popular character with the older generation people that are watching Spider-Man. I think he's popular with teenagers. So I think they're going to try to do something with him. I think they're going to try to get rid of Ned the way that he is. I don't think they want to continue on with a college and then adult trilogy with this goofy ass bastard because he's goofy.
Are we getting 2 more trilogies?
Supposedly.
That's what they want.
Oh, okay. But we just got signed on for another one. Okay. All right, got you.
Sony's was her Amy Pascal or Amy?
That sounds right.
Yeah. She wants 9. She wanted a 9-part, three. She wants 3 trilogies.
So many years.
She wants a high school trilogy, a college trilogy, and the adult working in the reporter life type of trilogy.
But
that would be a saga, dude. Like that's insane.
And that would probably make that's one of the reasons.
She said that was her goal when she got Tom Holland.
That's
9 movies.
Also, one of the reasons why we were talking about it possibly being a money grab, because if he'd signed a 9-movie deal, like a 9 solo movie deal, he wouldn't make nearly as much money as doing, because these first 3 do well. He's going to get paid more to do 3 more. And then he's like, guys, like I said, I really don't want to be playing Spider-Man anymore. And they're like, okay, well, what if we like triple what we paid you for those last 3? And he's like, I guess I could be Spider-Man for another like 5 years. And he'd literally probably end up being set for life based off of those films.
He's not going to be done playing Spider-Man until he's 35. Like, he'll have 5 more.
Was he now 25?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that.
Mid-20s, something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And the fastest you can make a movie is 2 years. So if they cranked them one after another, 6 more movies plus the 2 for Sony, that's
37.
8 more movies.
At the very least, he's going to be
years.
Like,
that would be 41.
He's going to be Tobey Maguire's age.
Yeah.
But getting paid way better than
It's not happening.
It might.
Not all of that's happening.
It would be cool.
But he'd be getting paid way more than Tobey Maguire ever got paid.
Because he still does like other projects while he's playing Spider-Man. And he's still really good, and he's like well known as so he can go and do that Archie shit and then come back to Mama's house and eat
Archie shit.
Yeah.
He just did was it Last of Us?
Uncharted.
Yeah. I'm mixing up video games now. Yeah. Uncharted. He said that was brutal.
Yeah.
So he talks about how doing Spider-Man is the most brutal thing he's ever done, but it's because of the press, the having to go around and do all the marketing. He said the actual on set, he said Uncharted broke him. Mm-hmm. He was in like really bad physical and emotional shape doing that movie.
All right. So real quick, we have one final one. Do you think, because it's brought up in the trailer, do you think the villains will be killed in this episode, in this like movie?
Doctor Strange does say they have to die.
Doctor Strange says they have to die for things to end. Do you think they will die? That's the last final question, and we'll put this game to rest because Kyle hates it, and we'll go on to some theories.
What? Okay.
Yes-ish. Explain. Yeah. Josh put yes, me and Kyle put no.
I said no, but they'll be gone.
Yeah.
I think that they're going to be okay with saying that these villains, those exact variants, because I do think they're variants.
Yeah.
So do I think we'll ever get Goblin, Sandman, Lizard, all those again? Yes. But I think these are variants, and I do think that these versions are going to be sent back to their death. I don't...
Oh, you think it like...
I don't think that we'll see them die. I think they'll be sent back to their death.
What if Loki appears and just like that's the end of the movie is Loki like appears on the Statue of Liberty and is like, man, y'all really fucked this up, and like hits a button and everything resets.
He just burns the whole place down.
They should have taken that deal from He Who Remains.
To become the new...
Yep. They should have taken the deal.
All right.
So we got a couple theories we wanted to talk about.
Okay.
You go with that, Brian?
Yeah. I was just erasing my board, so I wasn't a piece of shit.
You want to start with one? Or?
Yeah. Since we did just talk about it, I do want to bring it up. So we didn't finish talking about it because we kind of paused for a minute, but Ned in his possible death. Mm-hmm. What if Ned doesn't die, but we all kind of quote unquote think he dies. It could end up being a post-credit scene where we see him alive again, or it could be something where we don't see it until another movie. But what if he's Hobgoblin? Are you familiar with Hobgoblin, Kyle?
I actually
somewhat.
mentioned
We were talking about that before.
he didn't know about it, so I tried to
here.
fill him in on a little bit of the details. Like in the comics, I think we even find out, and I could be wrong about this. Don't quote me. Maybe you know. We're given Ned as Hobgoblin, but don't we end up finding out that Ned's not actually Hobgoblin-ish? Like it was this like ruse type of thing.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you're right.
But there's still a storyline where he's Hobgoblin, so they could go either direction. They could go where he is Hobgoblin. They're not going to follow the comics, so we're not going to have this whole is he or isn't he. But
it could be another Winter Soldier type situation where he becomes Hobgoblin, but it's not really Ned because Ned was so fucked up from the accident that he doesn't remember who he was or
he
what.
may only survive it because of some goblin juice, serum.
Okay, here's a question, and a bit of a weird one, but it's definitely a logistics question that needs to be figured out. So if that does happen, if that's going to happen, do they leave Ned exactly like he is, or do they superheroify him? Like
Well, he already lost a lot of weight.
Chris Pratt?
Have you seen him?
Yeah, but
outside?
he doesn't look like Chris Pratt transformation.
No.
Do you think they're working on
And you
that,
don't
or do
even
you think
need
he's
that, though.
just? That's what I'm wondering. Like,
Hobgoblin doesn't need muscles. He's got the whole weird torn up scarf type of thing. I mean, they could do a version of him.
He doesn't have to be ripped to play Hobgoblin.
If he looks like the comics, he does need to lose more weight, but he's lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he even lost a little bit
wonder
more.
I think if he
That's what
lost
it
like
is.
maybe
That's
20
what
or,
I'm saying,
yeah,
like-
if he lost 20 or 30 pounds, he'd probably be closer to comic accurate. But for right now, he's pretty on par with where he would need to be.
I don't even mean this fat shaming wise, but like, because I'm fat, but for comics, he needs to lose probably another 8 or 9.
that's why I was asking because I was like, that's where that came from.
But I think
You
another
guys were
30 or
talking-
40, they could pull it off fine.
Yeah, y'all were
Yeah.
talking about him being like maybe becoming Hobgoblin, and I was like, okay, yeah, that could be cool.
He is skinny in the
I don't-
comics, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he has to be skinny for that portrayal is what I
No.
mean. So they could pull it off.
Yeah.
What about all right, one of the things I wanted to talk about was Otto. We talk about 5 villains and we include him. Obviously, he's a villain when he breaks through the bridge and is fighting.
But he seems
I don't think he's a villain for very long.
no, he seems like an ally towards the end. Or
Before I go into it,
Yeah.
so we all agree that
Yeah.
he starts a villain but doesn't stay a villain?
He's
All right.
or at the very least anti-hero. Like he's
Yeah, because so I had a theory and it kind of got squashed today. I'll go into my past theory and we'll talk about it. So I've had a theory for a while now where, and I think it's brilliant. I've had this brilliant theory, all right, where Tony Stark's nanotech that he built for Peter, it has its own AI algorithm where Peter doesn't have to think about what needs to protect him. The AI does it himself. The nanotech will go where it needs to go to protect Peter, right?
yeah.
It's the perfect condom. It always covers up Peter wherever it needs to be. So
You didn't have to make that joke, but you did.
I did.
And that's why we hate you.
Now I'm imagining like now I'm just
Nanotech,
imagining like
the perfect
nano
condom.
sex, like that's just nanotech condoms that you just put on. It's like
nanotech
covers
condoms
you
works
everywhere.
at dog.
Yeah.
You know, the feel of lamb skin, but the protection of never mind. So my thing is it's got this built-in algorithm. And I see it as Tony is smarter than Otto Octavius when it comes to building machines. So my thing is if there's an inhibitor that is the machine, meaning the arms for Otto Octavius, are controlling Otto Octavius's mind. When the nanotech takes them over and covers them up, my theory was that the nanotech actually shuts down the inhibitor part of it, where it allows Otto Octavius to become a good guy again. Because
At the end of Spider-Man 2, he regained control though.
he did,
Which is why-
but he comes right back through the bridge as a villain.
Which is why it's kind of assumed
That's
that
a
he
good
might
point.
be a variant, because he like literally like I just literally made a clip of this scene for a video we did not too long ago, but he's literally in the factory like this on a pile of rubble, and he's like, Peter, I'm sorry, Peter. And then like
it's like some Hunger Games. Peter.
And then he like collapses through and like falls and dies in the river.
Yeah.
But he's good at that point. Like at that point, he's like the inhibitor chip's broken. He's like
he looks and he says, "Listen to me now.
Listen to me now."
And he's a good guy. And I agree about the variant part of it. So
he's right.
He's
right.
So they've either chosen to ignore some continuity, or he's a variant. It's one or the other. Because
they've chosen to ignore continuity.
You think so?
I think if they're doing all the shit that we're theorizing about, it's so much.
All right.
I don't think Kevin Feige would make a mistake like that.
Let me say why, though. They've chosen to break continuity a few times.
Yeah.
So it has happened. Kevin Feige can do it. He did it with Iron Man.
Yeah.
Before,
really?
After Iron Man 3, before Ultron, they do some skip around type of things where they're like, oh yeah, screw that. Let's just go with this because it makes better sense for the story. They've skipped a few things on purpose. No, thank you. I'm cooking a delicious meal. I've got some crab mac and cheese I'm going to make tonight.
Man, I thought about making lobster mac and cheese the other day.
Yeah, I'm going to make some Cheddar Bay biscuits and, it's going to be delicious. All right, so I just wanted to point out, I feel like I know what I'm missing.
All right, we need to wrap this up. No, I'm just
break. So, Otto Octavius is wearing glasses when he comes up through the bridge. Those same exact glasses were broken in Spider-Man 2. He's wearing a shirt that was ripped apart in Spider-Man 2. They're choosing to negate Spider-Man 2 occurrences, or it's a variant. It's one or the other. It can't be both.
I think they're choosing to negate him.
Aunt May breaks those glasses.
He's more recognizable in that attire, and they want that. Whoa, that's fucking him.
I disagree only because of this. They could put a different pair of glasses on him and be like, it still fits him. Like, we'll get this pair of glasses. It'll still fit him. In Spider-Man 2, he's wearing those glasses. Aunt May breaks them. It's a key scene where she breaks the glasses. He keeps wearing glasses. He just wears a different pair of glasses. They chose to go with the ones that were broken. They chose to do that. He's wearing a certain shirt. It gets ripped up. They choose to go with that exact shirt.
You sound like MCU Alex Jones right now.
But it's so easy to just do a different shirt, different glasses. They've chosen to go with the ones that we've seen destroyed. I think it's just,
hey, that image is the best one. Let's do that image. Let's do that outfit.
I think that's an easier way out. I feel like the way...
Yeah, that's my point. I think that's why they did it.
Or variants.
Or he's taken from right before, like...
That's convenient. That's, like, really convenient.
I think when Alfred Molina said, it's right after I die, I think he was wrong. I think he meant...
Why do we believe in Alfred Molina?
It happens right before it happens right before I die. Because...
And who's to say right before? Like, how long is right before? Like, is that, like, a couple days? Yeah. You know?
Because what Josh is referencing from the conversation he was just having... is that
with
himself was that he says what did you do to my what did you do with my machine? That's not a reference to the nanotech fucking with his tentacles. That's a reference to the fact that the fucking machine he had built in Spider-Man 2 is gone and he's on a bridge now.
And I agree with you, and I never thought of it for weeks. I've had this great theory in my head. And today we were watching the trailers to get everything in order to prep for our FanaticNOW video. And I stopped and I said, wait a minute. In the other trailer, I built this whole theory on the fact that those words were said at this part, but you don't see his lips say it. Now in this other trailer, his lips are saying it. And it's a totally different scene. So I was thrown off by the way that they mix the trailers together. So I looked at Brian, he was like, yeah, I don't think it's about the machine that you're talking about. I was like, fuck.
Which is funny because it shows that as much as me and Josh talk about this, we don't always talk about the exact same things, or we'll be talking about the same thing and not realize we mean two different things because we've talked about it before. But I always thought it was the Machine from Spider-Man 2.
And when I was referring to machine, I meant his arms.
Mm-hmm.
And even today, like we were working on some stuff, like getting some bullet points together, and we both knew what it said. And he started talking about it, and I was like, "What do you mean?" I always knew it was the Machine from Spider-Man 2. And he's like, "I've always been talking." I was like, "So you mean when I read this that's what it was?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I like it as the Machine from Spider-Man 2. I think
I agree.
That makes more sense to me.
I agree. My theory for weeks that I still think is going to be mostly true. Some of it's negated, and I agree. Yeah. So there's one that I wanted to talk about. Which one did you have?
Wait on this one. We'll do these.
Wait on that second one?
Yeah.
All right.
It seems like an end cap kind of thing.
All right. Well, name one that you want to go to.
Who do you think is fueling the villain's nanotech? Like the new tech? Because like we kind of touched on this earlier, but
I've changed on mine.
I think maybe
I was kind of fueled on Fisk. While you're thinking about it, I was really like pushing for Fisk, but now I've
changed.
Like especially because at first that was my theory before Hawkeye.
Yep.
But now seeing how subtle that it is in Hawkeye, I don't think that they would have like. It's like wasting the glory shot in Spider-Man, what they're building up for in
I completely
Hawkeye.
agree. I thought it was going to be Kingpin. I've had that theory for a while, and I'm backing out of it now. I don't think it's Kingpin.
I think it's Kingpin in a post-credit scene. We find out it's him who's been supplying.
So you think we make it through the movie, and it's just they got start tech?
I think it's questioned. I think it's like, how the fuck did they get that? Like, you know?
Yeah, they can make it work that way.
And they make you forget about it.
Yeah.
They make you forget about it until after the credits, and you're like, you know there's a scene coming up, but you don't know what it is because you don't remember the thing. They were just like, I don't know, maybe they found it at the whatever. And then it's like, bam, it's Wilson Fisk, like at all these locations, giving them the things or whatever. Or maybe they're all in his office, which feels a little cliche, but you know what I mean?
There are 3 likelihoods that it could be. Green Goblin himself, Mephisto, or somebody we've neglected to talk about, but is kind of in a...
Did you say Mephisto?
Did I really?
Mysterio.
Mysterio.
Yeah.
I heard Mephisto.
It could be Mysterio or somebody we've neglected to talk about, but it's in universe and sitting in a jail cell, Vulture. Somebody who already has had his hand in this high-tech stuff, who's already tried to steal tech stuff before.
And he is part of the Sinister Six, isn't he?
Yeah. And his whole storyline in his first movie is that he cleans up the wreckage. And this is cleaning up the wreckage. Now, it doesn't make sense if he's in jail. Is he still in control of a crew that cleans up?
He didn't seem like that type of boss.
Yeah, I know. Because, like, he was cleaning up the wreckage from the Avengers 2012.
Yeah.
And that contract through the city got stripped by Tony Stark. Tony Stark said got with the city and stripped the contract from Vulture. That was the whole setup for how he turned villainous. So it seems weird that he would still be cleaning up wreckage.
Yeah.
But it's also weird that wreckage, literally from Avengers Tower, is being spread out there.
And it's interesting because this kind of correlates with, you have to understand that this was always supposed to drop before Hawkeye. What's the first Hawkeye episode about? An auction selling off things from the Avengers compound.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man was supposed to come out late summer.
So probably it was somebody who would have had access and knowledge that the Avengers compound had been destroyed and would have either been cleaning up or known where these things were stored, most likely seedy underground people, which could be Wilson Fisk, or someone who's been connected, who has people on the outside, much like the Tinkerer, possibly.
I think it's Fisk.
I think it's going to be, if I was to cast my ballot for who I think it could be right now, I think it would be the Vulture. I think it'll be the Vulture in this, and then he gets put away again, and that's when we see him in Morbius.
Let's not forget that there is a Madam Hydra out there that is putting together a team, and she's got government pull, but she's very devious with her government pool. So she's also a possibility to tie in somewhere because she could be working with Fisk or she could be working separately.
And you're referring to the end credit scene of Winter Soldier,
Black Widow?
No.
Val from who recruits U.S. Agent, who's seen at the end of Black Widow.
Yeah.
Seinfeld, Julia Dreyfus.
Yes. Yeah. I was just explaining for people
She
who
could still get it.
didn't know because that's still kind of like, I don't know. I don't think that would be like super common knowledge. I was just trying to, that's who you're talking about.
I could see it not being super common knowledge that she's Madam Hydra.
Yeah.
Because we haven't
that's what you
been
called
confirmed that she is Madam Hydra.
Yeah.
But she is Val. And in the comics, Val is Madam Hydra. And she's doing some very Madam Hydra stuff already as Val. So it seems like that's the storyline they're going with.
And if you're not familiar, not only in the comics is she Madam Hydra, but she also has a stint working with S.H.I.E.L.D. for a while. She has a relationship with Nick Fury, and she also worked for
An actual relationship with Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Working and personal.
But she worked for another one of these big agencies, maybe AIM or something like that, I think, as well. Because she's Madam Hydra, she gets high up in S.H.I.E.L.D. and she also works for another one. She's like this weird triple spy type of bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. She's with the government, but she's not exactly doing government's bidding. But she is doing government's bidding, but not just the government's bidding. Like, she's all over the place. And it seems, she's already recruited U.S. Agent and Yelena.
Yelena?
U.S. Agent I got. Who's the other one?
Black Widow's little sister.
Yelena.
Okay. Oh, so is she recruited?
Have you seen the newest episode of?
Yeah. So she shows up as the spoilers if you guys haven't seen it.
Have you seen the post credit of Black Widow?
I know I did. I just don't
in the
know.
post credit, Val says, "Here's who killed."
Yeah.
And shows Clint.
Yeah.
Which makes sense of why he was
now
attacked.
in the latest episode, she's attacking. So
Shit
not to
just got real.
Hell, even if you haven't seen it, the actress actually posted it on her Instagram, and Instagram blocked it.
Yeah, and not to get too far off Spider-Man, but dealing with Hawkeye real quick, it is cool that Yelena looked at Kate Bishop and kind of did the head shake, like, nope, don't do this. Yelena could have taken her out easy.
Yeah.
Like, she's way better than Kate Bishop. For her to do that, is it her being a good person? Or is it because she was sent on a mission to take out Hawkeye?
She's only there to take out Hawkeye.
And she has a directive to not hurt Kate Bishop.
I think she...
Because is she being a good person and not hurting Kate Bishop? Or is she on a mission to not hurt Kate Bishop, which means that Madame Mask, Eleanor,
her mother,
could be working with...
Oh, you see, you're spoiling stuff I don't know about yet because you know more. So
Well,
it's all comic knowledge. It's not.
I know it's all comic knowledge. I don't know the comic knowledge. So you kind of have a vague idea of where the story is going.
No,
I have a vague idea that her mom is bad.
Eleanor Bishop isn't Madame Mask in the comics. This is just a rough estimate of what we've seen so far.
Eleanor Bishop is friends and works with Madame Mask.
Because Eleanor Bishop dies in the comics. The dad lives on in the comics. But in this, they reversed it where the dad dies and she lives on.
About damn time, if you ask me.
But then you find out that Eleanor didn't die. She's working with Madame Mask.
Yeah.
In the shadows.
Did you also know that Jack Duquesne is the swordsman who trained Hawkeye when he was young?
You would if you'd been watching FanaticNOW.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Now, we have several really good things like A Brief History on Echo, Hitmonkey, and we talk about Hawkeye predictions,
I highly
stuff like that.
Hitmonkey.
Yeah.
It's a good episode.
What?
I highly suggest that all of our episodes you watch because they're all very good episodes. Because I apparently am the impartial one in this partnership.
That was your part to like throw one of yours out.
Anime, Alien Spider-Man.
Oh, it looks kind of like Big Time Spidey.
That's like a Scotty Young
Big Time
variant.
Letdown.
It's a Scotty Young variant.
All right. What else you got?
The big one I wanted to talk about before we end is at the end of this movie, do you think that Peter's going to go through with it and be erased from memory?
Peter's going to go through with it? What do you mean?
So we know early on he goes to Doctor Strange and asks for.
Oh, do you think he's gonna?
Because I think, me personally, I'll start with me then instead of asking it. I think at the end he's gonna be like, Ned's dead, Aunt May's dead, or Ned's hurt and Happy's hurt, Aunt May's dead, whatever. Like some version of all of these bad things happening. I think Peter's gonna go and say, "We got to do it. I'm not gonna fuck with it. Erase everybody's memory." I think at the end of this movie, nobody remembers
the whole Superman 2 situation.
Which again, that's what I was referencing earlier when I said he pissed me off. Like we were talking about stuff that pissed me off because that's sort of like that whole "it was always a dream" type stuff. Like that basically negates the whole existence of the movie by being like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it anyway.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna happen. I think we end this movie.
It makes sense. It makes sense for the next 3 like movies and stuff because you need to set up that tension again. You know, and if it's just smooth sailing all the way through because everyone knows, then it's like I feel like it makes more sense, like storytelling wise, to restart that particular part of the story. So before we end, I wanted to get from you guys each the thing that you think is the most likely to happen that isn't kind of already common knowledge. So you can't say Andrew Garfield and Toby are going to show up in this movie because that's obvious. But what is the other than that? Because that's actually the only one that's like super duper obvious that like hasn't been confirmed.
Yeah,
but we know it's going to happen. So other than that, what are you like? This is for fucking sure going to happen, or I really hope it's going to. Dicks for eyes.
You go first.
I mean, I feel like I've already said it. Like, I think for sure we're going to get like the death of Aunt May. I think we're going to get a very important death, if not many important deaths. I think it's going to be what sets him on that I will keep moving forward type thing. And honestly, you could be right. Aunt May dies. Happy gets hurt in the process of it really badly. Ned dies, but he doesn't really die. We just think he's dead. But he goes on to become Hobgoblin. And everyone's memory of who Peter Parker is, who Spider-Man is erased. And Happy wakes up having no clue who Tom Holland is. Like having no clue who Peter Parker is. Aunt May's dead. He doesn't have MJ. He doesn't have Ned. And now he's all alone. And this is the first time that Peter Parker has to be on his own. Something he learned from the other 2 Spider-Men during their time there.
The next installment's just going to be a rescreening of the butterfly effect. Sorry, it would have been funnier like 20 seconds ago, but I was like,
you didn't want to interrupt me.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Mine is pretty much a 75% overlap with yours. There's some differences there, but overall, yeah. Mine bases on what I just said. I think he's going to be erased from memory. So I think there's no way home. He doesn't have a home anymore. There is no Aunt May to come home to. There is no Happy to lean on. There is no MJ and Ned to confide in. There's no way home. He's got to move on and do something. And I think the MIT train is squashed. I think all of that, like, I think the next trilogy will be his college years.
But he's not going to MIT.
He's not going to MIT.
He goes to Brooklyn University, I think.
Yep. And there's always the chance, and I don't know that I don't know that this is my favorite theory, but there is always a chance that they look at this and they're like, we can't do a 9-part, 3-part trilogy with Tom. It's not going to work. This is going to be the last we have of him. Let's skip college. He's a smart, brilliant kid. We don't have to prove that he has to go to college. Let's skip the college years and let's have him where he ends up. Maybe he loses Ned or MJ forgets who he is. The MIT plan is gone. Maybe he chooses not to go to college. Maybe we go straight into a trilogy of him as an adult.
Well, I hope that Marvel pays Tom Holland enough.
Sony.
Oh, sorry, you're right. My bad.
It's Marvel's money.
Yeah.
I hope they pay him enough
I hope Sony pays Tom enough Marvel money.
I hope he gets paid enough that he will stay on for 9 movies. Could you imagine how sick that would be? Like, we don't have.
We say that now.
It would be.
He could
so
be a bitter
sick.
40-year-old. We're like, God damn, get this guy off the screen already.
Really? Yeah. I don't think that would happen.
I would say Tom Holland doesn't seem like that character, but you never know. Like people change over age.
He seems like he
We
already.
loved Tobey Maguire for 2 movies. By the 3rd movie, I'm like, all right, he's done.
Yeah,
He's done.
He didn't want it anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I hope that would be super cool. Because, like, can you imagine how many different stories, like classic, legendary Spider-Man stories they can tell?
And I'm not even lying when I
on the
say
screen.
I would love to get a Clone Saga where we get Tom Holland in the movie twice, where he's also Ben Reilly. I would love Tom Holland as Ben Reilly. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say what I would love is not even like. Yeah, fuck it. Skip college. His college years don't really matter. His college years can be blended in with his adult years. Fucking make him work at the Daily Bugle. Make him work at as an intern at Oscorp.
He needs to get older. He still looks like a kid, Tom Holland.
He can look like. Did you see Cherry on Apple Plus?
No.
Yeah, he looks like a fucking adult in that movie.
Really?
Yeah, they make him look like a strung out drug addict. It looks really good. Tom Holland can play an adult, and Peter Parker does have a baby face for quite a long time. I think I would like to see Peter Parker as an adult, possibly then a Ben Reilly storyline, and then for him to pull back and play what Iron Man did for the end half of the first big phase arc, whatever, where instead of having Spider-Man movies, it's a Miles Morales movie with Spider-Man coming in and being like, "Hey man, how's it going?" Like, "Oh yeah, well this is what we did when this happened or whatever." And I would like to see that little interaction, but then Spider-Man is not, like Tom Holland has backed off that character.
I need Tom Holland to stay true to this whole trilogy and breakthrough through Secret Wars.
Yeah.
At that point, I think is probably the best time to bring in Miles Morales. They could bring him in before, they could bring him in after. You can make it work. But I would love to have Tom Holland as Spider-Man through Secret Wars.
Yeah. Secret Wars would be cool.
And Civil War 2.
And Secret Wars better fucking have Doctor Doom at the center. It needs to be a big Doctor Doom story. If not,
it's not even fucking worth it.
Don't even do it. Don't even dare call it Secret Wars.
Has there been an installment? Like, or why would you say that? What makes you say that? Okay.
Doctor Doom is so important for the storyline of the comics. MCU has a great track record of changing things up and using somebody else to fill a role or whatever. Like they still tell us that storyline from the comic, but it's just they change it and they use a different character. We don't have a Doctor Doom, so it scares me that they feel like they're leading to a Secret Wars to me. I feel like I already get the hints,
especially with Secret Invasion.
Direction. Yeah, we're getting a Secret Invasion. We know that. That's a fact, and that's going to lead to a Secret Wars. So,
what's the Secret Wars all about?
It was a money grab back in 1984.
A money grab in real life, or a money grab
in real life? They were like, "Hey, Stan Lee,
like Cold War type shit, or
no. All right, so Stan Lee had set up back in the 60s. He had changed comics forever by setting it up where no longer is Spider-Man a Spider-Man story. Thor is a Thor story. They all cross over and create this interconnected multiverse. That was Stan Lee's like huge contribution to like blowing comics up and making it just huge again. Because
so that wasn't a normal thing before.
No.
I think Justice League kind of was one of the first adaptations of that.
No.
Oh wait, does this predate Justice League?
Yeah. So all right. So in fast forward, this is a long discussion, but to make it super fast, superheroes were huge in the 30s. But because of DC. Then in the 40s because of DC and Marvel, which was then Atlas, blah, blah. During World War II, superheroes died out. Nobody gave a shit about superheroes. The only thing people were reading with comics were detective stories, horror, sci-fi, stuff like that. In the early 60s, DC came out with Justice League, and they said, you know what? Nobody cares about these individual stories. We're going to make this grand comeback. We're going to pull all of our comic books and nobody cares about. We're going to pull all those heroes into one team, and make the Justice League. And it was a big success. People were like, oh, man, this superhero story is cool. We haven't cared about superheroes in 15 years. And Martin Goodman over at Marvel went to Stan and was like, hey, do the same thing. Grab all your superheroes and pile them into a team and make a comeback. And Stan was like, no. All we do is chase trends. All we do is copy everything DC does. We can't keep doing this.
Which is kind of funny now because it's the reverse.
Yeah, when they're copying Marvel, but yeah. And he was like, no, it worked for Justice League. We need to get our superheroes back. Nobody's cared about our superheroes for a while. These are like already characters we have. We don't have to pay anybody to create them. And Stan Lee's like, I'll create them. I'll create a new thing. He's like, listen, do what you want to do. You want new characters or you want old characters? I don't care. Give me a story with a team. That's what I care about. Just give me a team. And if it doesn't work out, you're going to be fired, basically. And he came up with the Fantastic Four. And it was the biggest success that comics had seen in decades. That immediately gave him the balls to go and say, hey, I've been wanting this Spider-Man story. And he was like, nope, don't do Spider-Man. He did it anyway. Huge success. Then he went and created X-Men. Huge success. Then he went and did Thor, Iron Man, Incredible Hulk. Huge successes. Stan Lee's on a fucking roll at this point. And then Stan Lee was the one that went to Jack Kirby and was like, so when we're going forward with Fantastic Four and all this, this isn't a interconnected, this isn't a separate story. When we're going to do it, we're going to separate ourselves from what DC's doing and all that. We're going to create a story that when I keep doing all these other characters, they're going to start to intertwine.
One of the earliest Fantastic Four comic books was Spider-Man, or was it? No, it was an Amazing Spider-Man comic book.
No, Fantastic Four.
No, Amazing Spider-Man. No, I know. Amazing Spider-Man 1. It might be. He encountered the Fantastic Four, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's the first issue of
the first
Amazing
appearance
Spider-Man.
of Spider-Man's Amazing Fantasy 15.
Fantasy 15. I know
but yeah,
that. Oh, yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man number 1.
Who are you talking to? I know some Spider-Mans now.
Yeah, so Stan Lee had this interconnectivity to build a multiverse. And the whole inspiration for everything we have now is Kevin Feige saying that's what we have to do. When we create something, we're not creating Iron Man. When we start this off with Iron Man, it's not about Iron Man. It's going to be an interconnected universe. So anyway, that was the whole inspiration. That was how all that happened. Where did I leave off on the last subject line?
It was just Secret Wars and what it was, and then you got sidetracked. And
so in the you're right. So the 80s, sales were down a little bit, right? Sales have been down for about 5 years, and they decided to do a huge money grab. They're like, we've got this interconnected multiverse. We've got to bring every character, every big character that everybody cares about. We got to make toys for them so that kids want these toys, and we're going to write a story that connects with it. So they made these deals where all these toys started being released. It was the first really big time that Marvel action figures were being released in the 80s, and kids were releasing them. And the whole basis of it was that you need these toys because there's a storyline where you're going to see all your favorite characters, whether they've ever connected in the comics or not, they're all coming together. So they wrote this storyline that just brought literally every single character together. Now, we've already seen that in the MCU with Infinity War and Endgame.
With the MCU. Yeah. With the MCU.
MCU.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so weird to think about it like that now. Like the movies being intertwined like that. Thinking of it as a nuanced thing. Because it's not anymore.
Yeah.
But it's super
But I think
crazy
Secret
to think
Wars,
how crazy it was when
Secret Wars will be the next Endgame. Basically, it's the next long run end point where everybody comes together.
God, I hope it doesn't start to feel like Fast and the Furious. You know,
I don't see it that way, but it won't.
I
feel
don't
the
see
same
it that way,
purpose.
but I hope I stay interested. I hope I don't lose my love for it. Like Spider-Man, this Spider-Man movie has reignited my hope. Because it seems super, super
I don't
cool.
feel like anybody should have lost hope over the last year and a half because COVID set everything so far back. Everybody had to change stuff. It's just been a weird time. They were trying to do a reset during a worldwide pandemic.
Yeah.
So
I didn't lose hope. I just what I grew up with came to an end. You know, like it was a very clear, boom, this is the end of this saga.
I get it. And you're
we
young enough.
We have some of these threads that are that are
You're
gonna
young enough
continue.
that Iron Man.
I was in
part of
8th grade.
That's what I'm saying. He was part of your childhood. Nobody.
You were like 33.
False.
When
But nobody gave a shit about Iron Man.
yeah,
A long time ago. So
yeah. You good?
I'm gonna piss myself if we don't finish having a conversation.
All right.
I've had
I
to
thought you
piss
had
for
something to
about
say.
15 minutes
Yeah, I can
now.
see it building up in your eye. Okay, everybody, thanks for hanging in for, I guess, and we're just going to release this as one part. Cause
Yeah.
have to.
After some cut, it'll probably be like an hour 45.
Okay, hour 45 minutes-ish. Thanks for hanging in. Thank you to Josh and Bryton from FanaticNOW to come in here. You guys, Josh, because Bryton's going to piss himself if he talks, do you want to plug everything real quick?
sure. So FanaticNOW, main thing, go to YouTube. That's where we're releasing everything. We have our Instagram and Facebook. On there, we're going to drop funny memes and any type of breaking news or whatever. We're just sharing stuff on Facebook and Instagram for right now. But YouTube's the main thing. We're doing breakdowns. We're following rumors and predictions and all of that.
Doing
And
brief histories of characters you need to know about. I felt like I interrupted
Go
you.
with it.
So, well, yeah, brief histories of characters you might want to know about. Trying to do some prediction videos like we are doing kind of right now. A little bit better scripted, a little bit more organized, I guess I should say. Not just us kind of completely entirely off the cuff and trying to randomly getting super sidetracked like we are now.
And then we got a few things coming up where we're going to go into some comic history. Obviously, we've talked about it here, and we've talked about it on Fanatic. Now we're going to do the whole Stan Lee versus Jack Kirby. What is the true story behind all of that? But we're also going to do some fun things like some verses where, when it comes to who would win between Wolverine and Hulk, it's all about who's writing the story. Well, we're going to take those reins and kind of play with it and have some fun with like some who would wins and which characters or which stories, this and that and the other. So we're going to have some fun with some things and cover news and cover predictions, everything like that.
Yeah.
Yee. All right. Make sure you follow FanaticNOW on Instagram and all the places. Make sure you subscribe to them on YouTube.
Thanks, Fanatics.
Do that. Make sure you follow Small Stuff Podcast and Small Stuff Media on all the platforms that we're on. If you enjoyed this, share it with a friend or family member who you think needs it in their life. If you or a loved one would like something from our merch store, you can get a sticker or a keychain because that's all I have. So they're cool little Christmas presents if you want to get them. I don't know if you're going to get it in time for Christmas at this point, but you can still try. Go for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's it. Thanks, guys, for coming. Toodaloo, everybody.